Hello and welcome to the Best Is Yet to Come podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Rich Machesky. This is a February episode, and February is Career Technical Education Month, also known as CTE. With me to delve further into exactly what CTE is and what it looks like across the Troy School District is Mike Munaco. Mike Munaco serves as a supervisor for career readiness and CTE. Thanks for joining me, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rich. Thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. So we're going to delve into CTE. We're going to talk a little bit about what exactly career technical education is in the Troy School District, what it looks like, and I think what I hope our audience takes away from, especially those that have that maybe went to school back when you and I went to school, is CTE today is not what it used to be. It has changed dramatically. So for our listeners who may not be familiar with exactly what CTE is, Mike, share a little bit of how that has evolved, how CTE has evolved over time, and what it looks like here in the Troy School District.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. First of all, just to let you know, I've been in the field of CTE for about 16 years now, in education for 17 years. So I have a strong passion for CTE, career and technical education. So what that really means is it's a program that's geared for students to explore careers in a hands-on way. So it's beyond the textbook. It's hands-on learning. It's student leadership opportunities, student leadership organizations like DECA. So students have opportunities to participate and learn about these skills of teamwork, collaboration, all of these things that business and industry say they want after kids leave high school. So we have a ton of programs here in Troy. I think we'll talk a little bit about that later. But it's just what I like about CTE is it's for every student. So students that are going to a four-year university, students that are going to a technical education, going for an apprenticeship, going to the military, they're all honing in on their skills that everybody looks for in the future.
Okay, that's great. I appreciate that, and we'll delve again more into it. And one thing I know is clear in education. You all know this is, and it holds true in the area of CTE. Is we have a lot of acronyms. So we're going to do the best we can during the course of this conversation to break down what some of those acronyms are and so forth. We're so used to them, but maybe some of our listeners aren't, and that's okay. You mentioned apprenticeship is part of the CTE program, and here at Athens, there is an apprenticeship wall. If you're walking down the back hallway, back by our CTE classes, our visitors will notice this, an apprenticeship wall. Tell us what the apprenticeship wall is, and what was the genesis for? Why did you establish that, or work with staff in Troy to establish that?
Yeah, absolutely. We were at a career and technical education conference this past summer, and they were displaying the wall so we can walk by and see if it was something that we'd be interested in. And right away, I think we do a great job of promoting, and I think most families and students are well aware of the path of that four-year university path after high school. What we're not adverse to and what we're not used to seeing is learning about the apprenticeship opportunities. Mm-hmm. So it's a visually appealing wall. It has, I forget the number of apprenticeships that are up there, but they each have a QR code. And if a student scans that QR code, they can watch a little bit of video on it, and they can look up the wages. And then finally, there's a contact information if they wanted to reach out and try to get into that apprenticeship. I know the counselors here at Athens, they have students go and do that before they're ready to apply for a college, to make sure that there are other opportunities out there and they know everything that's available to them. So we have it here at Athens, and we're also applying for that for Troy High as well. So Troy High will be getting that again probably in the next month or two.
That's great. That's great. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Joining this conversation is Mr. Adam Burns. Adam is a teacher here at Athens High School, longtime teacher here at Athens High School. And in fact, we're in his studio as we speak. But he's also a creative content producer. So Adam, thank you very much for joining this conversation. And we're excited to hear from you, having been a teacher in the career technical education programs, both here at Athens and across Troy. Tell us a little bit about your specific program.
Yeah, so my program, class name is Writing for Broadcasting. I just call it Athens TV. with all our acronyms and different names, try to keep it simple. But it actually was an English elective when I took it over. And probably six to 8 years ago, they came to me and said, "Do you want to become CTE certified?" I said, "Sure, let's run through it." So there was a few different tweaks I had to make to the program to do that. And really what the class does is exposes students to the world of film and broadcast. And that's undergoing a lot of change as we kind of move to a streaming world versus the local TV that perhaps we grew up with. And I think that's what the program was initially designed for. I don't have any of that stuff in the classroom anymore. It's long gone. So in terms of adapting, I think that's been really good, because when you drill down to it, like the name in the course is writing. That's what it's all about, and being creative. And I think what kids learn is it's not really easy to make a video, to complete a project. The easy part is pressing record and editing. It's all the different hurdles you have to get over in order to get there. And I think what I've learned over years is that's the power of it for kids who, even though they're in the class and it is CTE, a lot of them might not be going into this for a career. They do get a lot of those soft, maybe even those hard skills out of it, that you got to learn to be creative, adaptable, flexible, because the world looks more and more uncertain. And as it's evolved over the years, I guess that's what I've really come to enjoy about it.
That's great. I appreciate that, Adam. And here in the Troy School District, we've been able to grow courses and extend that CTE designation to multiple courses. And that's thanks to the work that you've done, Mike and Adam, and those that have come before you. And there's others that have really helped build a foundation for this work here in the Troy School District. So, Adam, I'm curious, and for our listeners, what does having a CTE designation connected to a class, how does that benefit our students?
Yeah, so again, I know a world where this was an English elective and now it's CTE, and the difference is just night and day for what it means for the students. And the clearest indicator of that, and the thing that drew me in to go through the process, was, of course, money. I used to have to really scrape and do grants, which I still like to do, but just to try to keep up, because everything has changed so much. I mean, if you look at all the different iterations of the iPhone that have come out, I remember it when I started teaching this, the first one didn't even have a camera on it, and now they're like better than the cameras we have. It changes so fast. So it helps us keep up, and I think that's important, because the kids want to use this stuff. They see it, they hear it, they want to be using the best. So that definitely has opened up so many doors and opportunities for them. I don't think our class lacks for anything that they would need to be successful in their career with this. And I don't know if I could have said that when it was an English elective. So that has been a wonderful change. The other thing, and probably the bigger thing, once I got over the initial excitement of the money injection and flowing in more, was just that it has a career focus. And I think that's a really small tweak, so to speak, because it's not like in my English class, I'm never encouraging them to think about their future. But there's that extra bit of focus and attention to how can you make this work for you in your future. And if you stick around in a movie theater, if anyone still does that and watches the credits, there's all kinds of career opportunities in this. And I had a student very recently, she's in film school now, she's been working on Netflix projects, and she said, "I had no idea how many different careers were out there." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I tried to tell you and all that, but you don't always know until you get there." So I love that it's kind of their initial exposure to all this. And one of the cool things about mine in particular is video touches so many different things now. It's actually probably less like you will become a filmmaker versus you'll be like in marketing, and that's going to touch your career somehow. So I just love that it's forced us to reach out to more professionals, to get more input, and just project-wise, I think the quality has gone up, because I think there's a certain confidence that comes along with viewing themselves as this is part of their career now. So they're not afraid to reach out. There's always stories going on here in the school. I mean, it's a school, there's people, but it's amazing how much better they are when they can get out of the building, and how authentic that can become. So just that little bit of different trajectory to focus on the career. And I try to use that even in my regular English classes now, because it's not like you need a whole system behind you. It's just, all right, really looking forward maybe instead of what's right there in front of you.
That's great. I think about what you just said connects me to an experience that I had when I was a principal when I was a high school principal, and we were working. It seemed like we were having to work beyond as hard as it should be to bring an English teacher and connect an English teacher to work that was happening in our then welding program. And it at the time, people said, wow, that's revolutionary. Why would you bring an English teacher and connect that to what's happening in a welding program? But yet, what we wanted students to understand was the connections that are available. And now it's seamless. Now with the CTE designations, those connections can be made very seamlessly. And the end result is that students benefit. And I guess the biggest thing from my experience in education now over 35-ish or so years is how we have seen what was shop classes or what were shop classes that have become career technical education, how they have evolved. And so let's talk a little bit about the evolution of CTE. When we think about the jobs that our students are going to be or are preparing themselves for, how is CTE evolving in order to help support those? And then what gaps yet still exist that we in the Troy School District, you two specifically with your colleagues, are working to fill?
Well, I'll just piggyback off what you were saying in terms of shop class and perhaps the stigma that used to be attached to that. I can remember in the start of my career, that might have been something that schools were looking to kind of phase out because a lot of the emphasis was put on college. And I feel like it's swinging back to the point now where CTE matters. This is very important. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge is trying to share what CTE is with everyone. And if I was going to speak to one group of people directly, it would be colleges. Like, I would love to have them emphasizing as much as they do in AP class or, something of that standard, that this stuff really matters. And from what I hear that they're looking for, they want a wider variety of people. They want different skills. It's like they're describing what CTE is. Mm-hmm. And it's just trying to get people to understand the value of this and maybe look beyond that whole college piece. I went to college. I loved college. It's very important. But ultimately, the goal of college is to get employed. And I don't necessarily have anyone who goes directly from video into employment, but I'm sure, Mike, you're aware of students who do come to our programs. College is not a necessity then because they're going to walk right into some kind of career that we have prepared them here for. And I think it's just looking at that as a great option for the students.
Yeah, I appreciate, again, you saying that, Adam. That dovetails perfectly into the next question, and that is, we have students in high school that, in fact, many in the Troy School District who earn advanced placement credit, and they can take that credit. They take that credit to the college, and that is then connected to something that they're going to do at the college level. We have many students that take advantage of that, but yet I don't think many of the public is fully aware that within CTE, there are certifications that students can earn that are very similar to advanced placement. In some cases, they're even more valuable because they can be connected directly to some employment. So, Mike, talk to us a little bit about the certifications that are currently available to students in Troy based upon our CTE coursework, mm-hmm. and maybe some of those that you're working on that we aren't available yet, but we're working towards making available to students.
Yeah, absolutely. First, I just want to go back and say Adam is a very humble CTE teacher because a lot goes into it beyond a traditional classroom teacher. And I do just want to say, when you were talking about trends in the future, the first thing that each CTE program touches on hard throughout the whole program, so a series of courses, are those durable skills. Because each CTE program needs to have an advisory board made up of business, industry, post-secondary education, and they're the ones that tell us what they're looking for. And it's always the same things, and it aligns with our portrait of a learner. It's the communication skill, it's the professionalism. So those are the things that we instill in our students no matter what job they're going to be landing in the future. Also, I just got off the phone with someone about aviation. Aviation is something that we're looking into. There's a projection in the next 10 years of 3.4 million job openings. And I'm like, 3.4 million
That's incredible.
pilots?
Yeah.
But it's not just pilots. It's interior designers. It is culinary arts because people have to cook the food for the plane, right? So there's all these other jobs that are available in aviation. That's something that we're going to pursue. In terms of credentials, with the new legislation for CTE, every program has to offer a credential. And it's a wonderful thing because, like you said, talk about advanced manufacturing. Our lab over at Troy High, students can get a certificate on the Haas mill machine. They can get a certificate on Autodesk. Then you look at our marketing programs. You can get one on business communication and entrepreneurial skills, Microsoft Office. So each program has unique set of state-approved credentials that they can earn, but we're not limited to that. So our teachers, once they hear from business industry leaders and hear what's important for the field that they're going into, we can adopt any of those certifications to give to the students to earn those.
Yeah, I just think that's really important, and I'm gonna say it again. For a high school student, a graduate, to be able to take a credential, whatever that looks like, a certificate, a badge, whatever it is, and to walk into a place of employment and say, I have demonstrated my ability to do this, that, or the other, and it immediately equates to a skill that an employer is looking for. I can be immediately hired and then and begin earning a wage while I'm going to school potentially, while I'm in an apprenticeship, whatever it is, but they're immediately employable, they're earning a wage while they're doing whatever it is they're going to do. Maybe that's the job that they end up doing, that's the field they end up in. Regardless, they're walking away with that durable skill, right? Yep. They're walking away with something that is immediately transferable in what folks like to call the real world, and so forth. So I just think that's really important that we reiterate just how important those opportunities are for the students in the Troy School District. So for our listeners, how many students currently are participating? Not how many, by percentage, roughly speaking. What percentage of our students are currently participating in CTE courses in general? Roundabout numbers.
We have our largest population is in the marketing program and business program.
Okay.
We're trying to update our increase enrollment in our advanced manufacturing because that's where we see a big gap with Southeast Michigan is they're going to need a lot more employees in the next 5-10 years. So we're trying to update our labs, get more equipment in there, and prepare them for those job openings.
Yeah, and it's important to note that there are a number of areas that our students are very interested in, and others that are coming that our students don't even know are going to be there. I got a chance to sit on a panel just last week around AI and just how AI is changing the trajectory of the skills necessary for the jobs of the future. And so we may be providing coursework for students around coding and gaming and computer science and so forth. They're going to take those skills, thinking they might be a computer scientist, and it's going to look entirely different into the future.
Absolutely.
The key is, and the important takeaway I think for our listeners is that the Troy School District is actively engaged in helping students work through those skills and providing those state-of-the-art opportunities for students to the point that we have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of the last couple of years, both at Athens and at Troy High, with the help of business. Our business community have supported us. That's really important. CTE is not, and you talked about it with advisory boards. It's not just about what we do here at Athens or at Troy High. It's about connecting what we do here with our industry partners, and working together to support our students' learning and so forth.
Yeah, and that's actually part of the CTE programs. You have to have so many work-based learning opportunities, and what that means is touch points with business and industry. Yeah. So that can be guest speakers, that can be job shadowing, that can be a potential internship. So that's what I love about the CTE program. It's not just in the classroom, it's out in the field and where the business industry lies as well.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and there's much more to come when it comes to career technical education, career readiness opportunities, because down the road, we're going to talk about what this looks like in kindergarten. It's
Great.
not just what happens at the high school. It's about language that we use with kindergartners, preparing them for career readiness and how and what that looks like as they progress through elementary into middle school and so forth. So more to come on this topic as we move forward, but we would be remiss if we didn't, in February, CTE month, take some time to talk about what CTE, career technical education, looks like here in the Troy School District. Mike, Adam, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and providing a glimpse into CTE in the Troy School District. I want to thank you for joining us on the Best Is Yet to Come podcast.